Hello. All right. So tomorrow, my very first batch of handmade watercolor paints will be available on Etsy. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to kind of go through the unboxing. Everything cooperating to let me do it properly today. There we go. Alright, so the travel tin, as seen here, is hand painted by me. This is my studio logo, the butterfly. So I have two because one is missing a piece. So easy peasy open. In it you'll have a business card with my links and info on how to get in touch with me if you have any questions about your purchase or how to have fun with the watercolors. There's also an info sheet with the ingredients, the shade names, links as well, and what you can expect in your tin. Need your little swatch card. It's made with acrylic ink, so it shouldn't budge when you use your watercolor. So here we have the 6 hand mold shades in seashells. Now every travel tin comes with the plastic insert, so your shells won't budge in transit. This also doubles as a lovely palette for mixing if you don't like to muck up your tin. Personally, I don't mind. My tins get destroyed, but you could just mix your shades on top of your plastic and you let them dry outside of the tin. Keep it all clean if you like, if that's your preference, and it slides back in and out, so there we go. Keeps everything from moving around, so I thought that was a nice addition. So the first 6 shades that will be available are basically like a rainbow shade of primary colors. They are sort of inspired to go with my half-star coloring book, so I wanted the colors to be fun. They are archival, so if you happen to be a professional watercolorist, you can use them. They are meant to last. They're hand mulled with earth and mineral pigments, so they're very, very rich. Each one, friends from the glue, has a magnet on the bottom, so they will not go for a walk while they're inside. Bonus as well is that you can mix your shades around if you wanted to pull out and do a specific palette because you're going to paint, say, architecture or landscape and you want more of your cool tones. You could definitely take out the warmth. Here, I'll show you one second. For example, I have another Great Goddess Green that I had poured because they will be available individually in small batches through my Etsy. I could add in more shades. So, fun also coming to my Etsy 2020 and soon is lid size. So lid sizes are a bit more bang for your buck. They do occupy more real estate in a tin. So as you can see here, I've sort of repurposed a pencil crayon tin. I'm going to spray paint it and do it up my style. But those will also be available. There's nothing wrong with watercolor pans. I just as a business person in a small business sense, didn't want to go about remaking the wheel. Everything I use you can recycle and resource and upcycle. These are the tins. They are juice lids. We go through a surprising amount of juice in my house, and I've used them for plaster decorations and ornaments in the past, but I thought, you know what, these would be great for watercolor tins. This is an old geometry set that I upcycled. So in here you can see I have your traditional palettes in the little plastic squares. I went ahead and put magnets on them, so everything in here can swap in and out. If I wanted to, I could put that into my travel tin as well. So if you do have your own palette or other colors, you can definitely mix and match with my set here. It's all made to be interchangeable and easily used. And if you're watching, here are some of the new shades that are coming to the shop. They're not named yet. This in comparison to the Rubose Red, which is definitely a fiery, more ochre-based warm red that'll be available with the chorus colors, so the first batch that'll be on my Etsy. And this is coming up in the next few weeks. A more true red tone. If you wanted to get more pinks in your wash, you can definitely do that now. I also have a turquoise-based blue-green as comparison to, say, the Great Green Goddess, which is quite, you know, your traditional green. Jupiter's Beatific Blue, which are just one of my favorites, kind of a lapis base tone. So you could definitely have some fun in that shade family. What also is coming, I love yellow. I always have to have yellow in my palette. So this is a much brighter, clearer yellow as compared to, say, my Yonder yellow, which is much more of a warm, earthy, ochre-based pigment. So you'll have a bit more shade range and highlights and depths coming soon to my colors. And then I will also be releasing, I don't have it molded up yet, beautiful glimmery gold pigment. And I'm going to start playing around and see what happens when I add that to the colors in my line as well. And see if I can't make a few of the shimmery watercolors that I see. So definitely a lot of exciting things for the coming year. A lot of exciting things right now, never mind. All right, so I thought I would swatch some out for you so you could see what colors are coming. So you can also, if you're a little intimidated by watercolor or new, or just feel like you want to try before you commit, these watercolor travel tins with the 6 shade come together for a special price, $70 Canadian. That includes 6 hand mold paints, the travel tin magnet, plus the inserts. But if you wanted to try a smaller size and just see the quality and how you feel about it, everybody has a particular feel with the paint they use. I do have block cards available in my Etsy shop for $25, and most of them have the 6 shades. Some of them ended up having some little extra surprise shades that I've been working on behind the scenes. So if you happen to buy one with one of the extras, absolutely let me know if you enjoyed that extra shade. But block cards are a wonderful way to try out a color without feeling the pressure of spending all the money on all the shades. So I'm going to swatch out the colors. I'm going to use ones that I've already made, not a fresh tin, obviously. Okay, so I'm going to do the Rubose Red. So the Rubose Red was named after the alchemic process of the reddening. It is one of the latter stages of the alchemy process, and it indicates that you are on your way to gold, which is kind of fun. I love alchemy. I feel like, I know it's been demystified, but there's still quite a bit of layers of meaning behind a lot of that process, and yeah, it's definitely the precursor to the scientific or rational mindset. So thank you, alchemy. All right, so we're going to start out with the Rubose Red. I know the light down in my basement isn't so great. I cannot wait to one day have my goal of upstairs space of some kind. right, so that's the Rubado red. See, as you can see, it's a very warm red. It's a very brown-based red, which is wonderful. Like I said, these are more fun pigments and paints. They aren't meant to compete with the more established houses. They will be available with my coloring books. So I just wanted really good quality color for my coloring books and not necessarily paint to compete. And this one here is the Rubose Orange. You'll find that my chorus colors are very inspired by the world of alchemy and magic. And the Rubose is, of course, the snake biting its tail, which is a wonderful analogy for life. There's so much that we don't see going on behind the scenes. Okay, and in the warm shades here, we'll finish up with my Yonder Yellow. So I said, they're very warm, very ochre-based, very earthy pigments. Now, Great Goddess Green is one of my favorite shades of green. I would say it's a warm green. It's not a phthalo, which I love as well, but I haven't sourced that pigment shade out. So Great Goddess Green, but it's such a botanical color. It's so beautiful. I love that it's not too shamrocky green. I find that can be a little challenging to use sometimes with color lines. But it's also a very opaque color. Like I kind of feel when I'm using the Great Goddess Green that it's a little gouache, but there's no limestone powder in it, so it is just the nature of the pigment base. Here we have the Jupiter's Beatific Blue, and this is an ultramarine shade. It's very clear, very bright. I could definitely see you just buying the blue by itself and doing a whole series of like ginger jars, or just, I mean, blue watercolors, blue on blue monochromatic are still such a moody, impactful shade. They're very striking. And the ultramarine also extends into the violet shade. This is Venus's Velvety Violet. I had a lot of fun with the names. So that's your basic rainbow out of the 6 shades that you get. The little swatch card that you get is wonderful for doing something like this, just filling in your basic colors. It's obviously not meant to do a whole mix and match swatch where you mix your colors and make the beautiful big square, although that is something we could definitely look at doing. So this is the fun colors you get with your first set of 6 chorus colors by Maja Larson Studio, which will be available in Etsy tomorrow, November the 1st. Limited series of 4 travel tins are available. In the next week or so, I will have limited batches of these shades for sale in singles, in seashells, or in lids. There's the seashells. I believe the seashells are, hang on, I'm just gonna get the accurate amount. 1.25 mLs per shell, or a 1/4 teaspoon of paint. Now that definitely varies. Some of the shells are bigger and smaller, so I will be working with weight scales as we go further, just to make sure I'm getting every last drop of goodness in your container. Here's an example of some of the play last night. You can see how bright and vibrant those tones are, and that's just your basic palette. So yeah, if you do pick up a set of my watercolor tins, definitely drop me an email, mayalarson@yahoo.ca, or drop me a message on Instagram or Facebook. Let me know what your thoughts are. The new shades will be out and available soon. I definitely would like to work off of a pre-order basis. It's a little bit easier to tailor my batches if I know who's interested, and I am definitely open to custom blending. So if you have a friend or a wedding or a event that you can celebrate with paint, we could always custom blend colors to your event and create little coloring books, all hand drawn, hand mold, handmade. So there's some definite options for unique gifts in the new year. Definitely Give me a follow and subscribe to my newsletter for more information. Like I said, there will be an info sheet included with the watercolors, but should you be curious, the ingredient base for the watercolor paints are earth and mineral pigments. I source them from a company called Natural Earth Paints here in Canada. They are a eco-friendly, responsible sourcing company for these products, so I feel really comfortable ordering with them. And then I add to that gum arabic, glycerin, and pure Canadian honey, and clove oil. And that is it. There's no extra fillers or synthetic preservatives. They are all natural, archival, and luminous. So I hope that you will pick up your travel tin. They drop Monday. Looking forward to it.